Hey everyone, welcome back to CryptoCache. Thank you so much for joining me here. I hope you're having a fantastic day and a wonderful weekend. XRP is what we're looking at here. Pretty solid overextension, but awesome break through that golden pocket, that 0.618 fib level for potential continuation further up. So, if you're looking for a coin that gives a crap less about how the rest of the market's doing, XRP is your choice right now. If you take a look, Bitcoin is pulling back as expected. Probably going to see the 57.5 to 58.5 range retested. That's my guess. And at this point, at XRP, probably the exact opposite. In fact, if Bitcoin does end up finding its bottom, we may see money come away from XRP and go back into Bitcoin. It's one of those inverse pairings here. In fact, AVAX is performing very similar. So we want to be mindful of that, right? How well does a coin do contrary to Bitcoin? Does it continue, and how long does it continue for? Usually it discontinues once the rest of the market catches up. Okay, we're going to see that here soon. So again, we'll go ahead and take a look at some back-end liquidation data to kind of see what's going on. Take it from there. I want to say thank you again for hitting that like button, commenting below. If you're new to the channel, just know I have a trading academy, community, and signals group. Link down below. There is options here, of course, in our Discord. Come check it out. It's a lot of fun. Make sure you read through our trade alerts and, of course, our signals guides so you know kind of how my trade signals work if you're going to be planning to follow those. Anyways, that's all available for you. Check that out. Oh, last thing too. Make sure you check out BTCC. Awesome exchange. Link down below for that. These guys are phenomenal because they do offer excellent rewards, but more importantly, it's just a secondary option with no KYC or VPN that we'd like to provide to our community. So that's why that's there. All right, so take a look here at XRP. Liquidation data is funky. We got large pockets that keep getting swept. These are all $1 million lines here, essentially. So every line we see here is based on roughly approximately about 100 million is what I meant to say. 100 million per line here. So a lot of liquidations occurred recently. We got a couple of big areas there between 59 and 60 cents is a rough estimate. But if we zoom out and we kind of look at the larger big picture, there's still some previous liquidation data showing us that we have billions of dollars in the 61 to 62 cent range. Okay, so again, I'm spitballing here, of course. I'll summarize this in a update here to our community here soon. I also provide trade alerts here with, trade analysis here based on my playout charts on my Twitter, Telegram, and Discord, so check that out too. I just like to make sure everything's aware because I get a lot of people sending me messages like, hey, I didn't know you had XYZ. Yeah, it's all available there for you, so I try to kind of highlight that. Let's look at the daily time frame, work our way down, see what's going on. Now that we understand where liquidation's at, we got that heavy pocket between what, 60.5 and 62.5. I'm kind of rounding up a little bit, but there, let's go ahead and put that on the chart here. So 60.5, what is it, right? 60.5 and 62.5. Cool. All right, so we're just going to put that on the chart for later so we can kind of pay attention. That is our liquidation range, okay? So just something to kind of be mindful of. The price in most cases will continue to sweep that level. We got really good TSI here, good trend strength, MACD's conversion. When these two things combine, usually when you're up over zero on TSI and essentially you have a convergence in the MACD, the price is more likely to continue further up. Especially having been broken through 50 in the RSI, we have no reason why the price is going to pull back. Again, there's a lot of reasons actually. Complete manipulation is probably what it boils down to, because unfortunately this coin, whether or not you love this coin or not, it is very susceptible. It's a very manipulated coin and unfortunately difficult to trade in some cases. I prefer to day trade this coin over swing trade, which is why we have it as part of our Premium Plus group, right? So I have a day trading bot that kind of runs with an algorithm, and essentially XRP is one of those. This coin is really good for smaller time frame holds, just to be clear and concise about that. But the truth is here on the macro perspective, we're looking pretty solid. We are above all moving averages too, and that's just kind of reiterating and reaffirming that we're in really good shape here. We got a lot of support here in this range here at the 55 to 56 cent range. It's a long ways away, of course, but it could very well happen if Bitcoin has a bad day. It has to actually, at this point, has to have a terrible day to see that happen. But at this point, if we look at the 4-hour time frame, we're coming up on an 8 on TD sequential. So while this coin doesn't always follow this exact continuation patterns, we've been moving for 32 hours straight in the upward direction without retrace. Okay, so when a coin moves for that long, it's very common for it to pull back in the relative near future. So I think we're getting closer to our top. The likelihood here, though, is the price will probably consolidate somewhere in the 58 to 58.5 cent range, mainly because that's a 0.68 fib level and a very consistent area of retracement. We could also do, and this is very premature, but a lot of coins are starting to cup and handle out. In other words, what was it? ICP and SUI, they both have cup and handle patterns. So I wouldn't be surprised if this is like the beginning of one. So if the price does come up to the 63 cent range, that would be a solid consideration for a short, because not only are you going to be, kind of playing into a double top, but all the liquidation levels would be swept by that point, right? Again, at least the heavy concentrations. There'll be still new ones above it, but generally speaking, that is an area to pay attention to. So we'll just go ahead and put this in here and see where we're at. Liquidation range. Okay. All right, so now that we understand all that, we're above all moving averages in the 4-hour time frame. TSI is super strong. MACD is converging. We're over 70 in the RSI. You generally never sell until the RSI comes back below 70. So again, until this guy goes like this, boop, that's when you consider selling. And what I mean by that is if you're in a long position, you consider taking profit at that point. It doesn't mean you just enter a short and you just be a total idiot and just essentially short with no regard. We want to reevaluate when that happens, okay? But between now and then, generally as a good rule of thumb, if you're in profit right now and you're in a long, you leave it open until that comes back down. Inverse applies for sub 30 as well for shorts. But for the most part, that's kind of where we're at here. Looking really solid. The 4-hour time frame tells us that we probably only have about 4 to 12 hours left of continuation before retracement. Again, just based on standard retracement. We do take a look here where there's a pretty solid fair value gap as low as the local high. So this local high here could be the new low if the price ends up pulling back. Just know that'd be a solid pivot point. 54 cents would be an optimal place to get in. Again, probably a pipe dream at this point. Just throwing it out there. Those are areas to consider. Lower levels of fair value are generally good entry considerations. So I'm going to set a very, very egregious alert here in case that ever comes to pass. I'll reevaluate, see if it's worth getting into a long. Probably not going to happen. I'm just throwing it out there though. Seer, take a look at the Ichimoku Cloud. All green lights here to leave your long position open. There's literally no reason to take a short position with this coin. I don't care if the price continues, to 60 cents. I would say 63 is an appropriate consideration, so I'll set alert there as well. I know it's a far ways off. Actually, I'll do 62.5. And that happens, then great. But between now and then, I'm going to pretty much avoid this. That's just me personally. I don't like to get in when a coin feels like it's close to its top and when it's running, even though you're going to have a lot more success to the upside than the downside right now. But I don't want to get in, at this time. That's just me personally. You'll probably have a lot more success going to the upside here now that we've broken through that resistance level. But just know if the price does end up consolidating and pulling back, 58 cents would be a logical consideration for a long, because again, we have this previous resistance that should work as a new support. That's a 0.618 fib level. That's a very consistent area of retracement. So we should probably see some consolidation in this range here before the next leg up. That's my guess. So I'll post our playout chart on our Twitter, Telegram, and Discord here soon, just so you can kind of see what that looks like, what my thoughts are here. I'll clean up the charts and kind of go from there. But between now and then, the easy way to understand it is that this coin is super strong, super on fire right now, and there's absolutely no reason to consider trying to short against that. Unless, of course, you like losing money. That's a different story altogether, right? Maybe you have that need to have that conversation with yourself, your therapist, whatever. But I can tell you that it's important to not use high leverage or position size right now. I say that pretty much all the time, right? That's just kind of my common denominator. But the truth is I have to say that and reaffirm that because we get a lot of community members coming over to our community asking why our trades are only 5x leverage. Like, what the heck's wrong with you? You're not risking the entire portfolio when you take a trade? How dare you, right? That's the kind of unfortunate understanding that most people have of crypto trading right now. I'm trying to change that, I guess you could say. Let's bring responsibility back to the market. Either way, I hope you made sense of what I just described here to you, and I do want to say thanks again so much for the awesome feedback to anyone and everyone who's been watching me for a while or a short while. Just make sure you hit the like button. That's one of the greater compliments I can receive. And if you do that every single video, perhaps it's to get in front of more people instead of those idiots that kind of show you how stupid trading really can be if you're doing it wrong. All right, folks. Hope you have a good rest of your day. We'll see you in the next one. Have a good one. Thanks again for your time. Take care.